Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. In today's exciting episode, well, it's a sewing vlog. So we see little snippets of lots of different things.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
I've already done 8 collections of my jackets, and I just decided to get out the rest because I thought I'd done more than half, but I haven't. Anyway, so I also finished this jacket. So the Paris jacket, I made it at the start of December, and originally I was going to do orange and apricot beads on it, and it would have looked adorable, but I ended up going with blue on blue, and then I felt that was a little bit samey, so I went, oh, fluoro green, that'll be adorable. So I did, and these are the jacket patterns that I prefer. These the Vogue 7975 is obviously the one I've used most, but yeah, this one here is the simplicity one. So I just did a little smattering of green beads to start with, and in between I've been doing my collections videos, getting out all the jackets very slowly. And then once I'd done it, I was like, oh, I'm going to turn it into a vertical garden, because vertical gardens were kind of from Paris. And yeah, so I did the neck, I did the bottom first, and yeah, I do have a beading video in the description box below. There's a link to that one where I show you how I actually do the beading, but this is me just showing, remembering to pick up the camera in between each one. And so I did the bottom first, and then I did up the front center and around the neckline, and it didn't look very good, so I added some more. You can't really add all the beads at once, you have to add layers of them, so it looks sort of mangy and not full enough for the first, like this bit here had 3 different levels on it. So the first one and the second one it looked okay, but and this is me showing you that I did the this is the second side of the shoulder seam. So I did the right one second, and now the right one looks awesome because I did the correct amount of beading on that one. But I have to go back to the other side, which is on the right side of your screen, the left one, and redo that. But anyway, now that it was beautiful and growing on all the bottom, the front, middle, and then around the neckline, I was like, actually, okay, now the sleeves look really weird. So then I took the remaining beads and divided them into 2, and I decided that I would bead the cuffs of the sleeves as well. I mean, they're short sleeves, so it's not really cuffs, but the ends of them. And I also needed to put some transparent beads into the feature on the back, which really looks like a vertical garden, so that it could have more texture. And yeah, and this is me just reminding myself that I have to add more to that shoulder seam. And also this sleeve didn't have a triangle on it, so I had to do that as well. I wasn't sure, but I did end up doing the other triangle just because the weight disparity would have been too much if I had not done an equal amount of beading on that second sleeve. So I was thinking about maybe just adding more sort of growing tufts coming out of it instead of just doing a triangle. Then I had to go to a fabric store, just had to, and do a fabric store visit and film that so that I could have I'm pretty sure that was the last video of December. And yeah, so I managed to do a video every single day. And then I had a day off because I was exhausted. And then I did the beading on one cuff. And so I did half of it and then went around and did a second layer. And I mean, I guess I would have liked a third layer, but this is all the beads that I have, because I also had to take some out of each of the little jars and finish the original side of the shoulder seam. And I also had to put some in the back in the triangle feature. So yeah, this is me just showing you, and then on the second side I'll actually film little snippets the whole way along so I can show you. So this is how you start. You do one long, I mean, I explain it in that beading video with the link below if you want actual real slow step by step. But essentially what you do is just do short and then a long and then a short, then a long. And that way the weight is nice and even and there's not too much weight on each thread. And also bear in mind that these aren't glass beads. These are plastic beads. So if they were glass beads, I wouldn't put quite so many on each strand. And I do, I do 2 short, 1 long, 2 short, 1 long, just because of the extra weight. But these are plastic ones. They're really, really light, which actually makes them annoying to work with. Glass ones sit where they are when you sort of poke them with your needle, whereas the plastic ones are so light, they sort of roll away. Very annoying. Anyway, so here we go. So I've half done the second sleeve, and you can see it sort of looks a bit scraggly and not grown in enough. And yeah, so, but that's all the time I had to do beading that day. So yeah, I cannot tell you how much joy this one brings me. Like, I know last Christmas I did the gingerbread jacket, the Chanel style gingerbread jacket, and it's so much more conventionally beautiful. I totally get that. This one has pretty much the same amount of beading time invested in it, but yes, not quite as glamorous, but it's so much fun. I guess I miss, like, I don't have a garden. I live in an apartment, and yeah, but I used to live in a house with, like, I took care of my parents, and when they went, they were very sick. So I always had to be there basically on call, but they napped a lot. So I had to do something quiet. So mostly I read, but I also gardened and yeah, so I used to do loads of landscaping and loads of gardening, and then I sort of went into, yeah, so I do miss gardening. But so this is beading. It's not exactly the same thing, but doesn't the triangle on the back look good? So I've I over color corrected with this, but there's some transparent ones in there as well. I think I need to add just a few shorter ones to the top, but for the most part it's done. And this triangle, I was a little bit lazy. I couldn't be bothered unpicking the ones that were on there and just doing a perfect triangle. So what I did is just pegged out the triangle and worked around the beads that were already on there. So it might not look perfect, but it does look, I don't know, I kind of like that one's organic and one's like prim and proper. As if you've ever been to Paris, they prune trees to within an inch of their life, so everything is perfectly manicured. But then you sometimes come upon a park or a garden where everything is just grown where it grows, you know, where it's self-seeded, and it's beautiful, the juxtaposition between the two. So there we go. That is what it's at the moment. As I said, there's just a tiny bit more work that needs to be done on the triangle on the back. But apart from that, it just needs, I have to make the lining and hand stitch it in. And I've already done 8 collections videos of like the pink, the red, the gold, the pale blue jackets. So this is the navy. So it was a one whole storage box, but then I just got ones from other boxes as well, and this is the colorful one, so everything that doesn't fit any other things. And this is magenta, but it sort of also includes some pale pink ones, which I apparently forgot about when doing the pale pink video. Now the ones on the rack are ones I couldn't decide which one they fell into. I think both of these ones I'll put in the beige section, because the beige, I thought the beige section would, I've just remembered a couple of jackets that I haven't found yet. There's this one with tiny blue sequins in it that I haven't Oh, anyway, so that's Oscar de la Renta, and it's got grey in it, and there aren't many in the silver and grey collection, so I'm thinking maybe I'll put it in that one. Then I have this bronze fabric, which has a black overlay. I'm thinking brown, in the brown collection, not the beige one, just because, yeah, I think. And then these three here, I think of them as blue, but then I decided that my blue ones were going to be pale blue or navy, and they're not really either. I suppose they could fall into navy, perhaps, but they've also got a lot of brown in them. So, and one of them's got silk. The silk lining is brown. So I'm not sure, either navy or brown. And that one's called City Mouse, the one with the bright blue beaded trim, and the one with the navy trim is called Country Mouse. I like the Country Mouse better. And then there is the Tempest jacket. That section there is actually on the inside front. And so the tweed is actually very white, and then it's mostly white, but it's also got these strips of decorator fabric, which are brown and turquoise. So it sort of looks to me like seaweed and waves. So yeah, it could either go in the aqua and turquoise collection, the brown one, or the white one. So, because it's basically the only white tweed I have. So I don't know, maybe I'll put it to the side and put it in a few different ones. We shall see. And I also have to get out some fabrics that haven't been made into jackets yet and put them in each one. So I've got a gorgeous decorated fabric, a couple in navy, and some fabulous dark green fabrics. So I'll have fun getting all of those out and creating more mess. Then I have to decide the order in which I'm going to shoot all of these collections videos. And I was hoping to do all those collection videos, but I think there was too much dust on those storage boxes. Either that or I've got a head cold, because I have just been sneezing and blowing my nose and lying down and feeling very sorry for myself. I put the brown jackets up, and that's the one I'm going to do first. This one here, I sort of think of it as beige, but it's got quite a few different browns in there, and it's got silver in there too. So I briefly thought about putting it in the silver and grey collection, but we're just going to go with the brown one for now. And then I found some more fabrics for the magenta. And, well, this one's sort of colourful, but it's the magenta that I'm going to pick up in that. And then I found some more fabrics for the navy collection as well. This is a decorator fabric, so it's a velvet, which is fabulous. And then I have a navy lace as well, which is beautiful. It's a machine embroidery lace, but it's got extra bits sewn onto it, so it's quite three-dimensional. And yeah, found more greens and found more black and white, and this is me holding the camera with one hand and trying to show you the other black and white fabrics with the other. I also have this white lace, which is pretty amazing, which I've since put in there. So yeah, I didn't get around to doing the final few bits on the Paris jacket either. I'll get there. So I'm going to shoot a few collections videos. It's so pretty. And then I'm going to start doing those dreaded mock-ups and get a lot of them done. And then maybe do a few more bead hauls and then make some tweed jackets. I haven't made one since, I think, November. Anyway, that is it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you've been inspired to maybe not make quite as big a mess as I've made. It was such a mistake to get all the jackets out. Well, it's like half of them, but that's a lot of jackets. Anyway, thanks again and happy sewing.